Hey guys, welcome to another episode for the AE86. It's about like 25 degrees outside, and that's how it's been for a while, and that's why that doesn't help with me getting the videos out. Also, you know, with everything that's been happening. So I appreciate you guys hanging in there, and here it is, another episode. We're going to be finishing up the side skirts and basically getting everything ready for primer. I did run into an issue with the rear bumper, and I'll be addressing that in this video as well. Also, what I wanted to address is, if a few videos back I had my 555 subscriber video and free giveaway. I wanted to address that because it's not turning out. It's the whole contest thing for the shirt is not turning out how I was kind of wanting it to. It's kind of we had got up to about 50 likes real quick, and then all of a sudden it just kind of dipped and fell flat on his face, and basically it doesn't look like 100 likes is going to happen anytime soon. So without delaying that too much, what I'll do is set a date. Probably I'll give it to the end of February, and then we're gonna draw. If you go back to that video, if you didn't leave a comment yet, make sure you leave a comment and give it a thumbs up, and then I'm going to randomly draw a winner, and that person will get their choice of a AE86 style t-shirt. And so anyways, basically I don't want to keep you guys waiting for 10 years later, finally get 100 likes. Doesn't look like that's possible right now. So I thought I thought it would be pretty easy to do, but for some reason it just didn't work out. So who knows? And without further delay, here we go. Enjoy. We got the starting on the body work now. We got the side skirt here, and one thing that I want to go ahead and show is, you see how this line right here is all wavy? It's not perfectly straight. So what we want to do is straighten that line out, so when you open the door, you're not going to see all that wavy line. It's going to look unprofessional. So what you want to do is you're going to use your masking tape and mask a straight line right across. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is, see how wide some of that is? You don't want to be sitting there standing with a straight block all day, so I'm going to knock that down with a DA real quick and get it pretty close to that line, and then I'm going to go back with a straight edge and some 80 grit sandpaper, and then sand it down perfectly straight along the tape line. Also, I'm going to I always use a DA. See how rough that is? You got a lot of material here that you're going to need to remove. It's going to take a long time and a lot of effort to do that by hand. So I always use a DA with an 80 grit sandpaper on there, and just knock it down real quick. Same with this side. It'd take forever to take that. I mean, it wouldn't take forever, but it'd take a lot. If you have the tools, to do it, then you might as well just use your tools. And then you just take it down with the DA, and then you'll go back, put some body filler where you need to, and then you'll take a flexible block, and sand it down smooth, make it nice and straight. You see here, I've already done it with this side right here, and up there it's already knocked down. And I'm going to do the top here with the sanding block. Do it by hand because it's a little bit more finicky. So now, so you get, basically you got your areas here, and this is going to need a little bit of body filler to cover those spots up, but just a skim coat, and then we'll go back with a hand sander and do it by hand. Basically that's it. See, I've already done this side with the tape. My tape got messed up down there, but see, there's a little bit of material there. If it'll ever focus, it's not perfectly flush, and you can take the block and finish that up. Okay, I went ahead and mounted the side skirt again just to see how it looked, see how it came out. Here's the rear bumper. I went ahead and, I don't know if you remember, a couple of videos ago I did the little wedge cut on all four corners. One right here, down on the bottom, and over on that side. Basically I just took the DA to it, you know, and sanded it down. Now I'm going to take the body filler, go over that, and sand it down again. Go ahead and fill these holes up too while I'm at it that I drilled in order to hold that metal piece in while I was mocking it up. So as you can see, it's got a little scratched up just from being in the garage, from moving it around and stuff. I figured not a big deal. So yeah. Oh, and here's the, see that line right there? Nice and straight. It's those little things that's going to make a difference, you know. You know, if you had that wavy line and, you know, you had it in your car and you open the door and you see that every time, it's just gonna eat at you, you know. At least it would me. So just go ahead and fix it now and you know, get it over with. And so now we're going to get some start doing the body filler, and hopefully we'll get this get these bumpers ready for primer pretty soon. Okay, now this was cut out when I first started mocking the bumper up, and I cut out a little bit too much, and it was not a very clean cut at all, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is back this up with some fiberglass. I'll probably come out more than I need to, just so when it dries I can always trim it back down. And then after I have the backing, then I'll be able to fill it back in and make it a little bit cleaner look than that. Same with this side over here. This side ran up right over here. Kind of rough looking, you know. So I'll just put a little backing on there, and then I'll come back with the fiberglass. I guess the hair, the kitty hair, or whatever you want to call it. And be able to fill this in and make it have a little bit better line than that. So let's try to do that now. Alright, that should do it. As you can see, I got the foil tape again, and you know, it's not like real sturdy, but it's more sturdy than if it didn't have it, and it would be tough to just hold that, to just be able to come out that far and not have any tape there. So it's good to have it. And as you can see, I kind of pushed that tape in just a little bit, that way when I take the tape off, the fiberglass will be a little bit lower than the rest of the body. That way I can come back with the fiberglass filler and fill it in and make it level that way. Right, this right here is just, I'm just making a backing, like a foundation, so that when I put the other fiberglass on top of that, you know, it'll have something to hold on to. So we'll go with that, and then now that we're gonna wait for that to cure, I'm gonna go to the side skirts and go ahead and put the body filler on the side skirts. All right, guys, here we are on this cold January day. It's raining, but this is the only time I have to kind of work on these. So we have the body filler on the outside of the each end, and what basically I'm going to do now is take some 80 grit sandpaper and work it down, just basically getting it ready for primer. Alright, here it is, all finished, or all cured, I mean, I should say. Now I'm going to get the fiberglass, short strand fiberglass hair, and just kind of put it in here, right there. There's some air bubbles right here, some voids, and I'll just smear it in there. And what I'm ultimately going to do is I'm going to just shave it. See how this comes out just a little bit more? It's kind of inside. I'm just going to shave it down, not even maybe a couple millimeters. So all this is going to be gone. All this fluff right out here is going to be gone. It's just going to be that one little bitty line come around. So Same with over here. All this, most of this is going to be gone. It's just going to have that little bit right there. I'm going to get the fiberglass and just kind of smear it in there as best as I can. Okay guys, here it is with the, it's all finished, and this is actually ready for primer. Right here I got the, you know, the fiberglass filled in here, and I also, I sanded it down with 80 grit, and then I went back over it with some body filler just to finish it off. Sanded it nice and smooth, and actually it's not ready for primer just yet. I'm going to do, I could probably do this with 80 grit, primer it, but I'm going to sand the whole bumper down, and actually all the pieces now, since all the body work is pretty much done, I'm going to sand all the pieces down with 120 grit paper. Block sand it everywhere, just so the primer will stick nice and good with the 120 grit scratches everywhere. Same, with it. Looks a lot better than before. So I guess that's it. Yeah, so I'm gonna move all this stuff out here. I'll let you see. This is one of the reasons I haven't had much progress on the car. We've had pretty crappy weather down here as of late, so this is actually everything's pretty much melted away now, so it's much easier for me to get out here and try to work on this stuff. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright guys, before I get this thing ready for primer, what I wanted to do was test fit the bumper, mainly the rear bumper, because it was the one requiring the most body work, and also did the side skirts, put those on. Side skirts look good. Let's see. Just need to get those sanded down and ready for, I just need to get those sanded down and they'll be good to go. I like how they fit. They look good with the wheel. But let me show you one thing I noticed, and it's kind of a bummer because it's just going to delay this painting process a little bit more. The rear bumper, let me show you. This area right here, I don't know if you can see that. Right here is, you know, I haven't fastened this down, but if it was fastened down, I'm talking about this corner down here. It's the same if this is in or out. I mean, mounted at this fender at the rear quarter. It doesn't move this bottom portion, is what I'm trying to say. And the reason I'm trying to say that is because you can see it sticks out quite a bit from the tire. Let me show you. This right here. It's a good, I mean, just looking at it like that, let me get a straight edge on. Alright, if I put a straight edge on here, you can see the tire there. Okay, you can see that's a good what, ½ inch there, maybe even 3/4, or maybe close to 3/4 of an inch there. It's sticking out further than the tire, and a little bit is okay. I mean, you know, I'm not really too picky about it, but well, I kind of am, but that's like way farther out than I want it to be. But on this side is much better. You can see it fits much better. It's still a little bit further out, but it's tolerable, you know. Let me get you. Yeah, there we go. It's much tolerable on this side, and that's actually how I would have rather liked to see this side, but this is just way too much. It's like, you know, a ½ inch too far out. So anyways, to make a long story short, see, it would have been perfect if it was like the side skirts. Yeah, it's perfect right there. But to make a long story short, I'm gonna make more work for myself and get this primer delayed even more. So I apologize to you guys who are anxiously awaiting to see the finished product, but I don't know if I could, you know, it would just bother me, man, seeing that all the time. I could probably get to learn to live with it, but if I don't have to, then I shouldn't have to. So, I mean, I do have the know-how to fix this, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it while it's not painted yet. So, basically, what we'll be doing is I'll be cutting a wedge from the tip here all the way down, and the wedge will get wider, you know, the appropriate amount of space, I guess like about a ½ inch down at the bottom. And then, you know, because it's got this underside too, I won't be able to just move it over. I'll have to cut a wedge out from the very bottom, along the bottom here. Let's see if I can, all the way down along the side as well. That way it'll give me enough flexibility to move that over this way, take up that the gap, and then re-fiberglass it again. So yeah, that's a bummer. I hate delaying it because I was so anxiously wanting to get this thing in primer. But you know, right now the weather is so cold. It's not the best time of year to paint stuff anyways. So I got a little time. I can you know, get this work out the little stuff, and then hopefully we'll have a warm day, and then where I can get this stuff painted. So let me go ahead and get this working, and yeah, just wanted to give you guys a little update there on that. So hard to tell on the camera, you know. It looks like it's fine on the camera, but if you see it in real life, you can really there. You see how that's sticking out so far? I mean, it's just like, it looks like I just got a body kit and threw zip ties on this thing, you know. I might as well have. So since I put all the time and work into it, I'm gonna go ahead and go that extra step and try to make it look good. All right. Okay, I got the bumper back. I mounted it up this time all the way because I want to make sure that everything is how it's going to be, you know, whenever it's in the final position. So here's the wedge cut out, as you can see, through there as well, down the bottom. And I also put the bracket on because I didn't want this inside to move out, but I want this outside to move in. So this inside right here is set right there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this little grip here, and you'll see how much it moves in as I clamp it together here. There we go. Just like that right there. Alright, so we took up that space. And also use, see how it's a little bit offset now because it actually moved so much. It did make this part come out a little bit more. So I'm going to use this to kind of, this clamp to kind of hold it even right here. Hold that line a little bit even. It's not going to be perfect, but I'll have to go back in and do a little bit more body work to level that out. But this shouldn't be too bad right there. So now I'm going to actually glass the pieces while it's on here. At least I'll probably not be able to get into these areas right here where the clamps are, but I'll be able to do all this and all along the bottom back there. And yeah, so let's go ahead and do that now. Alright, now that I got the bumper, the rear bumper here, it's curing for the fiberglass on the areas where the bracket was, because I couldn't fiberglass that on the car where the bracket was, so I took it off, fiberglassed the rest as you saw in the pictures, and now I'm just waiting for it to cure. While I'm doing that, I'm going to test fit my front lights for the JDM style front lights, and test fit those on the front bumper. So let's see if I can walk this out here without dropping it. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Now I need to go ahead and drill these holes in the fiberglass here. Let's see, yeah, I believe that's the right side. Let me go ahead and mark where I need to drill, and we'll get these test fit. It looks like it'll be okay. I mean, I was just worried, make sure the bumper was not too tight right here, you know, but it looks like it's gonna be, looks like it'll be good. Here's a little trick I use to find where I need to drill. I just put some masking tape down, put the light in where it needs to sit, and just kind of get it where it needs to go. Kind of wiggle it around, push, you know, use a little pressure, and you can see a little bit of some mark on the masking tape, and that'll kind of get you in the general area of where you need to be. And here's a bummer. On the light, this part right here, this goes into, you know, you drill a hole for this. There's a little clip right here. This is supposed to be, you know, for the factory piece. Basically, we don't need this, so I'm gonna have to cut that off in order for it to sit all the way down flush along the base of that stud. So, hate doing this, but just take it like that. There it is. Alright, so see, we got our two holes drilled, and this little clip right there clips on the back side of that. So let's see if we can get this set in there. Oops. There we go. I need to hire a full-time cameraman for this, for my YouTube channel. Yeah. There you go. Pretty much. There he goes. Move this. All right. There's the lights mounted. Looks awesome. All right, now that the fun's over, let's go ahead and start sanding again. See if I can get this bumper sanded down with a 120 grit before it gets too cold out here. It's about 30 degrees, so, but I think it's gonna get into the teens as soon as that sun goes down. So let's see what we can do. All right, guys, I didn't quite get the front bumper all the way sanded down. I said, well, I was going to do it with 120, but actually I did it with 150 grit. Not that it matters much to you guys, but you know, it's a little bit finer grit, just a little bit. Now here's the rear bumper. I got remember I did all the fiberglass on the back side and up top. You can't see that, but trust me, it's there. And here's I filled it in on the front side. This is the part that you will be able to see, not too much on the bottom, but at least right here. Here's what it looks like. We'll let that cure overnight. I guess that's gonna be it, guys. So I appreciate you watching, and I know it's been a while, you know, since my last video. And you know, I got a lot of things going on right now, so I appreciate your patience with me. Look forward to seeing you guys next time, and we're gonna get this thing primered up. The next video will be primer and block sanding, so you know, and then get ready for paint. All right, so it's going to be pretty quick, I think, from here on out. Most of the tedious stuff is done, except for, you know, this little end right here. But after this, you know, it's just going to be scuffing this up, getting it ready for planting. So we'll see you guys next time.